6:11 p.m. gunfire erupts. So if you flip the 6, it's a 9:11. If you've been keeping up with my channel, you know that I've been showing how 9:11 is 9:23 on the military time on the clock, because you keep counting up. So the 11 turns into a 23 on the second time around. And the significance that 923 has to do with all the predictive programming and how the Feast of Trumpets equals 923 in Gematria, Hebrew Gematria, and how I believe that that's has something to do with when the day of the Lord begins.
The miracle of deliverance. By 9:23, the water of life shall proceed forth from the throne of the Lamb, and the day of the Lord shall be of...
She called us this Thursday morning, 9:23. I thought, okay, this is it. Here we go.
So we have that right off the bat. This is all a synchronized ritual done by numbers. This is how the cabal does things, okay? Trump was 8 minutes in. So again, you have the number 8. The number 8, Donald J. Trump in English Gematria equals 888. And the number 8, it means new beginnings. It has to do with time and eternity. That's why the words time traveler also equal 888 in English Gematria. So Donald Trump and time traveler both equal 888. And this is interesting because they made Donald Trump Biff. They fashioned the character of Biff in the movie Back to the Future, which has to do with time travel, as Trump. This is his casino, Biff's Casino, the pleasure paradise, just like Trump had his casino, the Taj Mahal, right? So now we go back to the beginning, which the gunfire started at 6:11. So again, remember 6:11 p.m. So 6:11 p.m. in military time is actually 18:11, because the 6 is actually an 18. Remember, when you get to 12, you keep counting the second time around. So 13 would be 1, 14 would be 2, 15 would be 3, and so on. 16 would be number 4, number 5 would be 17, and number 6 would be 18. So the 6 is an 18. So 1811, what significance does this number have? This is kind of amazing. Do you remember the 1811 New Madrid earthquakes? Remember, in the year 1811 and 1812, that was when the massive New Madrid earthquakes hit. And they hit on the solar eclipse path of April 8th. And remember, these earthquakes made the Mississippi run backwards and everything. They were devastating. And I was talking about this when the eclipse came up. So the time that the gunfire erupted was 6:11, which is actually 1811. And we go back to the 1811 New Madrid quakes, right? And the solar path line. Now, what is the crazy thing about this is that where Trump did the speech and the attempt happened, so-called attempt, was in Butler, Pennsylvania, right on the solar eclipse path of April 8th. Is that crazy? And this is the map that was put out by the U.S. Navy. All you got to do is type in new U.S. Navy map of America, and it shows basically America, half of America flooded. You see on the left, you got the coastline seeping in over California and Oregon. On the right, it's in over New York and all the eastern states. And then right up the right side, you see a path. And that is where the New Madrid fault line is. And that is where the April 8th solar eclipse path went up. The eclipse path went straight up the New Madrid fault line. And we have all these connections with the time of the gunfire, 6:11, which is 1811, which is tracked back to 1811, New Madrid quakes, and also where Trump did the speech is right at the top of the path, this path. in Butler, Pennsylvania. And of course, with all this talk about earthquakes and the big one, we can't forget about the earthquake projector card in the Illuminati card game, in which that card game has predicted so many things that have come to pass. Very interesting to me how Jesus mentions earthquakes in diverse places. Well, why would that be? Why would they be in different places that they're not normally at? Possibly because of this technology, the earthquake projector. And I believe that this flood is talked about in Revelation chapter 12, starting in verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. Now the man-child was caught up before this, and we are the man-child. That is confirmed in Revelation chapter 2, verses 26 and 27, the overcomers. Verse 14, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. See that? The flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. Sighed the vicious sake. I have saved you, cried the woman. And you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.